Okay, I'm trying to get this here straightened out. I hope it's all is well and you can hear me well. Everyone can hear me. Um, I'm sorry, I've been trying to get this together, but now I think I have it. I think my lighting is kind of too, yeah, it's too. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Again, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness, and you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. I will say this is a lovely day in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall rest therein. All right. Okay. I thank the Most High for who He is. I thank Him for all that He has been and all that He's going to be, and how good He has been with us all these years. And still yet has a stretched out hand and a right hand that's stretched out to us, just being in the midst of us at all times. No matter what go on, He's there. He's always in it, showing up and showing out when He get ready. I like that. But he just he is. He don't come in like we would think or expect or on our timing and our way, but He's always on time because He's ever present. I have such a wonderful message here, and I'm going to put it forth before you. And I am so eager to get started, get started, get started. All right. I hope you seen the title. The title is The Greatest Fear is Truth. The greatest fear is truth. Believe that or not. Because the greatest of anything is truth. Because that's who the Most High is. He's truth. And that is the greatest fear. Some might say when the greatest fear to me is to die. Or the greatest fear to me is to lose my car or to lose my job or to get coronavirus. But the greatest fear is truth. That's the greatest fear. And if you swing that the right way, you will also see it every way it goes. The greatest fear is truth. There are people who are afraid of truth. And that's not a good thing. But they are. They run from it. They teach messages that causes people to feel good because they truth to them is like an enemy. You know, I hear my son tell me, but Mama, when you say things, it scares me. I said, that's what truth is. You're supposed to be afraid of anything that the Most High hold on to, because you never know when it's slinging it your way. We got to take this thing serious. And after this lesson, if I have one that's out there can hear, and when you hear this, I want you to just think about it. How everything that you've been taught and been told and been under and been up over has been an error. You see, it has been wrong. Everything. And I know I've been wrong because there's many times I keep telling people, stick the key in the door. And then when they stick the key in the door, I said, now turn the knob and open the door. Because to me, it comes that easy. I'm trying to figure out, well, what? When Peter got the key, Peter stuck that key in, he turned it and opened up the door, walked on in and came out with truth all over him. He walked in truth. He died in truth. But today, ain't nobody want to even stick the key in. I be sitting back listening to messages and say, come on, brother, stick the key in. That means bring this message to its core. Bring it on in. Bring y'all on up in here. And I be sitting there waiting and waiting. And it's like, oh, they finna put the key in the door. And I'm serious. I know that sounds crazy, But I'll be just, oh, I can't wait till they put that key in that door. Oh, he got the key in the door. I said, turn the knob and go in. They don't go in. But it ain't for Deborah. It's for the Most High Yah, for what he told the woman. Yeshua told the woman this. She wanted to know if he would allow one of her sons to sit on the left and one of her sons to sit on the right in the kingdom. Yeshua told her, wait a minute, woman, that ain't for me. That is for my Father in heaven, who he have assigned that for or to. You know, so I'm just saying to you, with Deborah, I be thinking and feeling, if you come that close, go on, open the door and go in. Would you go to your front door with your key in your hand, stick that key in that door, and not open the door and go on into your house? Just say if it's at 3 in the morning, 12 at noon, you're coming home from work, you go straight in. Well, that's how Sister Deborah be sitting. When she be watching these videos, she be waiting for them to come up to the door, stick the key in, turn a knob, and walk in. But I can't seem to find not one male on this platform, nor female, that's able to take that key, stick it in the door, turn the knob, and walk in. And then I get in trouble. Why? Because the Most High said, Deborah, why do you think that they can just get my key and just walk on in? That's a key that I give out, not you. So he is always chastising me. He said they can't go in that door. When the 12 sat there and Yeshua was there, he asked them, who do they say that I am? None of them was eligible for the key at that time. But when Peter told him who he was, he said, flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you, but the Father in heaven. That was Peter's whole mission, is to take that key, open that door, and walk on in. And from that day on, he was given the key. And he said, and the gates of hell will not prevail. You know why? He was telling them, what you got is your key to enter the kingdom of heaven. Teach that to others. Feed your sheep. No, feed your lambs at first, he said. And then he told them to feed the sheep. You see? Because why? This is afterwards. But why he told them that is because you got the keys to do it. See, and then the Most High getting on me said, Deborah, why do you expect him to open that door? And I ain't gave him no key. I was like, I'll be Father, but they come so close. He said, do you think they can just walk on in? He said, you ain't walking into my door well, not knowing who I am. You ain't just going to walk in there. And then he asked me, he said, are you going to let them walk in? Would you let a stranger walk up in your door because he got a key? Or you going to let him come up in your house? And that makes so much sense. That's how he chastised me. He always corrected me. I'm always in trouble because I be wanting, honestly, so much the best for people. I'll be wanting them to come out because it feels like I've been in a cage all my life. And every day I go out of the cage, I'm like, wow. People say things, people doing things. Why are they doing that? Wow. Why are they doing that? Don't let me watch the news. Oh my. It's like I can discern everything. I can see through things. I can see in the back of me, the front of me. Sounds, I can hear sounds beyond sounds. You get what I'm saying? And I'm like coming out of the cage. So even when I moved back to Missouri, the people there at the job that hired me over Skype, they say, man, why did you come here? Because in them, they say, well, wait a minute. I mean, we hired you for a position, but you can do everything. It ain't me. It's greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. I'm in the world, but I'm not of it. But I'm flesh living in the world. He can go beyond my flesh and give me the ability to do things that he's called me to. And it's strange to me because I be coming out and I be saying, oh, why are these people doing that? And why are people doing it? And my kids be saying, Mama, you just can't say nothing. You can't just, it's like, hey, and they think it's funny because I feel, you guys, like I've been in a cage since I was 4 years old and I'm just not coming out to reality. Yes, I do understand he has moved the veil so that I can see things for what it is, because he has shielded me to keep anybody from discriminating or showing racist toward me. I haven't experienced that. But now I can see it for what it is, but it's still not applied to me. It's still almost like when they see me, they treat me with kindness and with like, you know what I'm saying? And people will say, even on my workplace, why they don't do you like that? When they said this to us and they told us, and I would say, when did they say that to y'all? Why would you stand there and let them say that to you? I'm going to tell you something, y'all. I'm going to tell you the truth. I just don't have no sense. I ain't never had none. I just don't have no sense. I never had none. I don't even think I'm going to ever get any. Because I can't grip what's actually going on in the world today, in the way people are teaching, because all I see is all this grace and all this mercy. You know, I see that right hand power and that stretched out arm. I see, when I look at the tree, I know that tree didn't get there on its own. I'm looking at why do you give that tree all that? Oh, and it's leaning on this. Oh, wow, this tree is, it's just, I marvel off the things that I see, because I know it ain't something man has created or man has built up on and what man is about. So I go beyond trying to, and I know I'm going to get in trouble for it, because he always tell me, don't act like you don't know what's what. And I do. I have a tendency of doing that. I have a tendency of playing like, hey, oh, this is so shocking to me, when I know that the Ruach HaKodesh has been an excellent teacher and a revealer. He has shown me many things and has been a comforter. So it's like, don't act like you don't know what this is, because I have a tendency of doing that. When I know that I know, I know. So I'm going to get with this lesson, and the lesson in the title was and is, the greatest fear is truth. People are afraid of truth. That is the greatest fear. It can work on two ends. It can work on the end of the wicked, and it can work on the end of the righteous. So that the righteous know the fear of the Yahuwah is a gift from him. And the enemy, you better be fearful of truth, because spirit and truth is going to knock you in and going to knock you out. So get ready. The spirit of truth. So it works on two ends. Which end are you holding? Which end are you on? Like the Most High said with Moses when he came down off the mountain, asking the people, who's on Yahuwah's side? That's what Sister Deborah want to say. Who's on Yahuwah's side? To be able to discern the greatest fear of truth. Can you discern that? Okay, let's get with the lesson here. Okay, what I want to do is something that I did and I have done throughout time. But this time he said, you're going to do this a little bit different. You're going to do this different. You're not going to tell the people, Deborah, to go into the biblical and search the word right hand or stretched out arm. You're going to do the search as you have done. And I said, but Father, it's all the way up in the closet. I'll have to get the paper out. He said, no, you're going to go to the store. You're going to get you some ink. You're going to put it in your copy, and you're going to reprint them all over again. That's what I had to do. I had to do it. I had to do what the Most High Yah. You see here? I have lots and lots. They might be upside down. And look here. Many. Let me put this down and go to the next one. Here go another one. Sheets. You know why he said do that? He said, since you said yours is up in the closet, do you think I use you for you? When has this become about you? Either you go in the closet and get the sheets, or you make new copies. So I'm always in trouble. Always. So what I do, I go out and I got made new copies. Bought ink and made new copies. Yay, Lord. Yay, Father Yah. Your will. Okay, we're going to start off with understanding the right hand. When you don't know who the right hand is, you ain't got no business on this platform precepting, lying, a little here, a little there. You have no business on this platform teaching anybody if you have not or do not understand when you rightly divide the word of truth. You're dividing what comes out of the mouth of man, and what comes out of the mouth of Yah. You have to divide the two. Why? Because you don't have to dissect what come out of the mouth of Yah, but you're going to dissect what come out of the mouth of man. How are you going to dissect that, Deborah? You're going to rightly divide. You're going to divide what man has said in the biblical book here. Okay? You're going to divide it and see if it matches up with the Most High, what he said in this book out of his mouth. You're not, let me not say never. You're not going to find too many doing that. Why? Because for so long have they taught you precept, line, little here. You can't line and precept and line here and line there if you don't know all these about what I'm finna show you. And you're going to understand it in a few minutes. You're going to say, wow, ain't nobody ever done that. You know why? Because they so busy precepting what came out of the mouth of man. They lining what come out of the mouth of man. They little here and a little there what came out of the mouth of man. Instead of rightly dividing what man was saying and see if it's spirit and truth. You see, you don't have to rightly divide what comes out of the mouth of Yah because it is the power. Okay, but you need to rightly divide what every man, Moses, Ezekiel, every man said. You have to rightly divide it. Let's set an example. Man says women need to keep quiet. The Most High said in the Old Testament as well as in the New, I'm going to pour out my spirit upon all your sons. And what did he say about the daughters? And your daughters, I wonder, are they males? It's going to prophesy. Do you all understand what prophesy means? That means the mouthpiece of the Most High Yah. Now, how can man tell women to shut up and keep quiet when the Most High done already said he's going to pour out his spirit upon them and it's going to cause them to speak, prophesy. For who? Not for her, but for him. Many verses takes you in that area. But they have taken everybody away because they went into the biblical, this here, and they rightly divide what man has said. No, they didn't. No, let me say that right. They didn't rightly divide it. They precepted. They lined. They little here and a little there. They did it for so long to the point they didn't found all kind of books that they said was taken from this book, which there has been, but ain't nothing taken from the Most High God. If anything been taken, it ain't the Most High's word that comes out of his mouth been taken out of here, because he said no man can remove that. But they don't have the faith to believe that, so they chase after other books, okay, to be able to show their power and strength and being able to search so much to get their understanding. That's why they ever, what he said? He said, ever learning, never coming to the knowledge, because they don't understand the type of truth that the Most High wants you to come to. Come to the truth that he really wants you to come to is Ruach HaKodesh. He's going to give you truth. Did not he say he's going to teach you all things? He's going to bring things to your remembering. He's going to be your comforter. He's going to reveal things to you. But when he said teach you all things, that's what they don't understand. That's a spirit teaching you this. That's not a books that you can keep finding. Now they're going to so many books. It is crazy saying this was taken out of this book. This was taken. Those books that has been taken out of here, when you can see what comes out of the mouth of Yah, taken out of this, you'll never find it. You know why? Because he can't. He said his won't come back void. When he speak, you're gonna hear it and you're gonna know it. Ain't nobody gonna take him from us. They can't do that. Now they can take what comes out of man's mouth, and that's what happened. They chased all kind of books, brought it back to this one, and now they're calling all these books more important than this because someone took something out of this. And all the hidden stuff ain't nothing hidden. The Holy Spirit is a spirit. It is spirit and truth. What is this hiding for? So how can somebody hide truth when it is the spirit of the Most High God? They can't. So we're looking in all the wrong places, even when we're on these platforms. And I'm going to show you something that you have never in your life been taught. And it's just as simple and sweet. And yes, he taught me this a long time ago. He put it in my spirit. And I take it everywhere I go. Would it help others? I'm hoping it would, to show them how far they can be distanced from what comes out of the mouth of Yah versus what comes out of the mouth of man. Now, when he says study to show thyself, that's why he said yourself. Don't go try to study to show somebody else anything. He didn't say study to show this person over here, get this group of camp, get this here group over here, get this. He did not say study to show your group or study to show the camp or study to show these young men, study to these men. He didn't say that. He said study to show yourself. Why? Because when he see you studying faithfully the proper way, then he would even have the mercy on you to the point where he'll let his Ruach HaKodesh go on and rest in you to take you from there. But what they did is they decided when we too much is lost. They took something from us. Ain't nobody ever took anything from you. Let me tell you something that's very powerful. We meditate on we all the time talking about our forefathers and how they brought us over here on ship. Let me tell you something. They can bring our body anywhere. They can do whatever to our bodies. They can do whatever. Let me tell you something. But the Ruach, the spirit of the Most High, can't nobody touch that, and it rests in you. See, that's what a lot of them don't understand. We have something greater than your father had. See, they had him upon them, with them, but he's in us. So when they came on that ship, if they would have got on that ship to come over here, if they had the spirit in them that was given to them all them other times, he had gave them all the lands and everything they should have. And he gave them the Israel and the tribe of Judah, he gave them everything. But guess what? They gave him not. They're nothing. They didn't want no part in him. Just imagine if they had kept him in them or desire him to and tarry for him. But see, this here tells you that the spirit came. It started off right, but as they went on, they didn't want no part of the Most High Yah. That's why I like what he said. He said, but Deborah, wait a minute, I put it in her. He's telling me, he said, wait, I said, but Father, what if they don't know this? And what about the people today? They don't know this. He said, but no, you can't say that for them. He said, let me take you to the scriptures. Go to Romans, the first chapter. Read it. They can't escape it because I put it in them. So when we're thinking we're going to escape the spirit of truth and say we didn't know, it ain't going to be that. Because they precept everything that comes out of the mouth of man, they skip the things that are spiritual, which comes out of the mouth of Yah. And that's what they do. They don't know how to rightly divide the word of truth, because see, they have to divide what comes out of Yah's mouth versus what comes out of man's mouth. But they never wanted to do that because they didn't want to turn loose that flesh. They'd rather serve man than serve Yah. See, it's deep, you all. But let me get into this here right now. And I'm going to show you where we as a people are so far from the Most High Yah than we think. And this is the time where we desire to fall in love with him. And he's in us. We just got to touch that rim of that light that rests within us. And we're going to start. Let's start with Psalms. We're just going to go to Psalms right now. We're going to start with Psalms. Oh, no, I can't start with Psalms. I can't. I forgot the first chapter he wanted me to start with. Let me get that right. Nope, that's where I would start in Psalms. But let me get this right. No, we're gonna come from Isaiah 48. Let's go to Isaiah 48. Isaiah 48. And I'm gonna wait until you get there. And I hope you have a pencil and a piece of paper, because I'm gonna take you a place you've never gone before. And the reason why you haven't gone, it still has something to do with the Most High Yah. It still has to do with him. It has to. It's no way people can be that far from him and really have in their heart and in their mind they so close, but yet be so far from him and who he is. But I guess it definitely could be because this thing didn't start today. This thing started in Genesis. And that's what a lot of people don't understand either. See, we want to hold on to it today and make it something different than what yesterday was. And that's where the problem is, because we want to make the picture pretty today, what was ugly yesterday. But no, we can't do that. We got to show up and show out who our Father in the heavens is, and the greater of his power, and why we should fear him. We should fear him because if he has given the spirit of fear and placed it in his, then we should fear him, because the spirit of fear also have given you understanding who he is and what he's capable of doing. If you see what the Most High is capable of doing versus what man can do, you'll stand down and you'll worship him the proper way. You'll serve him. You wouldn't want no part in what man is saying, but man is here to play a role in the body of Hamashiach. They have done away with the Hamashiach because they don't know who the Hamashiach is. A lot of the world calls him Christ. Okay. They have done away with the Hamashiach because they never knew who he was. They didn't know where he come from. And wait a minute, who is this? They talk about him, Yeshua Hamashiach, which is Christ. They talk about him, but they don't know nothing about him. And to me, I'm more so like, when Father, this is a long time, Father, for them to not know, but it's all his timing and season. And he is only, not Sister Deborah. It ain't in my hand to set his time and season. But let's go to Isaiah. I hope you got a pen or a pencil and writing this down and follow with me, okay? Isaiah 48 and verse 13. Isaiah 48 and verse 13. Now, like I said, it's going to be like, wait a minute. All these verses I was showing you on these papers, let me tell you, it's verses. It's more than this, though. Honestly, it's more than this. But you'll wonder, why haven't nobody said anything? It's because you are blessed today to hear it. So you can also encourage others how we are supposed to be looking to the hills from whom our help truly come from, which is the Most High Yah. We are supposed to be fearing him. But how can you fear what you know not? How can you fear the one that you know not of? Well, I'm going to show you why I fear. I'm a prophetess in the wilderness, and I do not play with him. I do not, because what? He showed me that right hand. He showed me what the stretched out arm was. And at any time, I can be out of here. I was coming home, about a month and a half ago, coming home after taking and smearing my Sabbath, coming home praying, and I was praying, bam, head on, towed me up, totaled my car. Just got me a new car for my birthday, and I just thought, oh, yes, I said my birthday. That's what they bought it for, my birthday. Okay. So I'm like driving and I'm just praying because, I already know I didn't smear it my Sabbath day. And I'm just praying. And it was like 9 o'clock that night. And I'm just praying because I figured, okay, I went over to someone's house and we talked about the word of the Most High Yah. But see what you do before you did that? See, you can't sugarcoat it because you went over somebody's house and y'all was reading the Bibles and it was a class. Y'all did a class. Oh, but what you doing before? You see what I'm saying? See, I know who he is. That's why you think I was praying on my way home. And this young girl hit me head on, towed me up, totaled my car. You think her car was totaled? No. Mine couldn't even move. The whole car was messed up. Not the whole car, but all the front. It just tore up. It was a horrible thing. And all I could think about was the Sabbath day, that I'm supposed to keep it holy. You know you're not supposed to mess with me. Don't mess with me when you know. Was I blessed? Surely I was blessed. Let me show you the love that came after all of that. I laid on the ground after the 3 Caucasian women kicked the door and everything to get me out. Went in that car, and some of it was on smoking. It was so cloudy in it. Got my purse, got my Bible, got everything of mine. Came over and said, we're staying here until the police come, because we saw what happened. And they asked me if I was all right. Next minute, I know everybody was gone. I'm laying on the streets by myself. It's as if nobody even see me or seen me lying there. Ambulance came. They won't even come get me and put me on a stretcher. Oh, yeah, the Most High talking to me. He telling me now, don't mess with me. You know who I am. You know my right hand. That same right hand allowed. But guess what it also did? It protected me. Here I am today, sitting here talking to you all. Head on. If you see the car, you say you couldn't have lived out of that. I was so disappointed because the car was totaled, and there was still some notes that were due on the car, but what they paid it off. Paid it off. Yep. My insurance covered my hospital. Paid it off. But you know what? I'm going to use it as a testimony. Don't mess with the Most High God. Don't think that you're going to get away with something and that it's okay when you know him. See, when you know him, you better watch yourself. That fear that I'm talking about, it's real. It ain't nothing to play with. Because you have that fear. That's why I was coming home praying. Because I knew I had smeared the Sabbath day. Doing that morning, that noon, the afternoon, just because I went to somebody's house and we studied, don't mean nothing. I still smeared the day when I know better. I'm supposed to keep that day holy for him. And what did I do? I did me. And did the day, was the day full? Sure was. Me in the hospital. I know what he is, and I know what he can do. He don't play with me. I don't get away with things. People who get away with a lot of things are people who are bound to find themselves in a heap of trouble. Okay? Me, I know what it's about. Either you straighten up or you straighten out. One or the other. When you know him. So let's go to what was that? Let's go to Isaiah 48, verse 13. Now listen to this. Surely my hand found the earth. First of all, when I say to you all, when it comes out of the mouth of Yah, you see words capitalized, not because those who printed this Bible were so intelligent and so smart and they know everything. That's when you know that his signature is in a King James version. It's because his son signs. So we will always find our way. That's what that burning sword was back in Genesis. So that at every corner and you turn, he said, it was left on so you'll find your way. Okay, so listen to this. It says in Isaiah, surely my hand found the earth. Mine. That's Yah. That's Yah. This is not man talking. No, they can't precept that. Why? Because this is a higher power speaking, telling you truth. in the spiritual realm. Now, I don't know what Bible you have, but you're not going to find a King James Bible that's going to have my lowercase m and y. You know why? That's where you know his power and what he stands for. He even put a dark star or star. Some of the stars are white. I mean, meaning it's not colored in black, and some of them are black. And you'll see this book and you say, well, why is this? But every star is saying, giving you a message. And a lot of people don't even understand that. That can't be precept. Them stars can't be precept. They can't be lying. They can't live here. That's spirit. Okay. Now listen to this. In Isaiah 48:13, it says, surely my hand found the earth. What hand? What did you mean about your hand? Watch this here. And my right hand spread it out the heavens. Watch this here. When I call to them, they stand together. Wait a minute. Who's talking? This is out of the mouth of Yah. Because man refused to study what spirit and truth, they want to teach the people what comes out of the man's mouth, because that's the only way they can manipulate you and trick you and deceive you from the words that come out of the man's mouth. Wait a minute. It's not a man on earth I want to see when I go to the kingdom. I want to see the one that died for me and one that created me. That's it. You think I want to see my sons and daughters? Bye-bye. You think so? I don't think so. I want to see the one that died for me, the one that set me free, the one that created me. You get what I'm saying? Now listen to this. Isaiah 48:13. Surely my hand found the earth. This is Yah. He has set his right hand like an adversary. No. I got the wrong one, you all. I skipped down already. That's the wrong one. Let's go back to Isaiah 48:13. I need to keep still. I'm getting too excited. Isaiah 48:13. It says, surely my hand found the earth, and my right hand spread out the heavens. When I call to them, they stand together. Ain't that deep? Now he's talking about the what? The earth and the heavens. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? He's talking about the earth and the heavens. Oh, he founded the earth, he said. He spreaded the heavens. But when I call them, Deborah, they stand together. You know what they standing together for? Saluting the mighty creator. That's why. It's like, you know how the military, when the commanding officers come back, what do? Salute. Well, this is what he's saying. The earth and the heavens and what he created, they salute him by standing together, even though they're far apart. The heavens and the earth are so far apart, but yet when he called for them, they in unity. Tell me if that's not sick. We are human with the spirit of the Most High Yah's light, and we cannot unify. Now, wait a minute, Father Yah. No, you didn't go there. How are you going to allow the heavens and the earth, when you call them, they can stand together and humans can't even unite? Tell me ain't something wrong. Something wrong. We can't even unite. They can't even unite. But we're the one walking straight into Jerusalem. We're going to come together. How you going to walk into anything? And you can't even salute the Most High Yah in unity. Now, that's kind of sad, y'all. Now, see, he took me there, and he know I didn't know anything about. I didn't know nothing about the earth and the heavens come together when he called them. That makes me look bad to know that we can't even come together. And here is the earth and the heavens come together when he called them. Father, Yah, forgive us. I'm sorry, Father. That is horrible. But look how he said it. And my right hand spreadeth the heavens, and my hand found the earth. See that right hand? Sister Deborah been saying it probably 30 of her videos. Y'all need to learn about the right hand. You better find out. You better, like he said, you better find me while you can. Because it's going to be a day and a time where you're not going to find me. Just like the ladies with the R. Oh, no, you ain't going to find them. You don't think you're going to march in because you are the lineage of the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. It's a little more to it than that. They ain't going to teach you that part. Only part they know now is what comes out of the mouth of man. See, they haven't learned what comes out of the mouth of Yah. Because the Ruach, if they don't know what's coming out of the mouth of the Ruach, and if they sit down and they start to study what comes out of the mouth of Yah, then the Ruach gonna come along, and guess what? He gonna break it down in them, so they'll know it piece by piece. Then they can really gain what? That power. Because now they know the power for what it stands for. And with me, when I read Isaiah 48:13, and I see that right hand, I'm out. Now, what right hand? Whose right hand can do that? That's power, you all. That's power. Now, Lamentation chapter 2, verse 4. Lamentation chapter 2 and verse 4. Let's go there. And we're gonna kind of read through these here, but I try not to slow down, because once I get in it, I'm in it. I'm sorry, you all. No, I'm not sorry, but once I get there, I'm just there. I just be swimming. Okay. Now we're going to start with verse 4. It's Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 4. And it reads, he has bent his bow like an enemy. He has set his right hand. He did what? He set his right hand like an adversary. You know what he said? His right hand don't play. It can be one way and another at the same time. You know how it was a time where your mother tell you to shut up, and you never know if you keep talking, she just pick up whatever. Next thing you know, you got a brush across your head. You know, you never know. When the hand of the Most High, you better watch yourself. It can do whatever it wants and when. You see, don't estimate. It's something to be feared. Let's say it like that. That right hand is something to be feared, especially when you find out later on how loving it is. Okay. Lamentations chapter 2 and verse 4. He has bent his bow like an enemy. He has set his right hand like an adversary, and slain all that was pleasant to the eyes. In the tent of the daughter of Zion, he has poured out his wrath like fire. Do you hear me, Hebrew Israelites and the tribe of Judah? You don't know this right hand that you messing with while you trying to get everybody in submissive to you. You don't understand that you can't precept this. You know why? It got all power in the heavens and the earth. You can't precept that and tame somebody to be up under your control and your rulership, your lessons, your teaching. Your subscribers can't hold this power. Your likes can't hold this power. Your message can't hold this power. Because he's sitting here telling you he'll cut you down because I've done it before. See, they won't teach that. Why? Because it's come out of the mouth of Yah. It's telling you don't play with me. Y'all been playing with me for a mighty long time. That's why you're where you at today. And you still ain't out. So I'm here to tell you all, reading this even sit here, and it says here, he has set his right hand like an adversary. Mess with me if you want. I'll get you one way. That's why that sword is two-edged. If I don't come one way, I come the other. And no matter which way I swing it, it's got a point on each end. You better watch yourself. Okay, now let's go to Hebrew. The focus is really on that right hand. I want y'all to understand it. Let's go to Hebrew chapter 1, verse 13. Hebrew chapter 1, verse 13. And verse 13. But to which of the angels has he ever said, sit at my right hand till I make your enemies a footstool for your feet? You see that? Let's read that again. Let's read that again. But to which of the angel has he ever said, sit at my right hand till I make your enemies your footstool, a footstool for your feet? He was talking to Yeshua, as the world knows him, Jesus. He said, sit here till I do what I got to do before you can go down there. See, nobody don't understand. He was talking to Yeshua. Now, who is Yeshua, Deborah? Yeshua is the Son of Man, born of a woman in the flesh. That was Yeshua. But who is this talking? Who's this talking? That right hand said in Hebrew chapter 1 and 13, sit at my right hand. That's what he said. Hebrews 1 and verse 13. Sit at my right hand. He's telling something. Why? His right hand of the Father. The Father's right hand is Christ. It is all power. It was present at the beginning when he said, let it be, wham, there it was. He said, let it be, wham, there it was. Christ was present in the beginning with the Father. It is his right hand power. Let's set an example. If you were right now, you have something in front of you, pick it up. When you pick that up, your mind has to think it. And whatever part of your body that is thinking, if it's got to do with doing anything, it's always the hand that you're good at, that you are your right hand. See, he spoke it, bam, and there that right hand. It was present at the beginning. So the Christ is the beloved, his only begotten son. Why is it your only begotten? Because that's your only right hand of power. So Christ, when Yeshua had to sit so that Christ can prepare the earth for his footstool. Okay? Because he sets Yeshua on the right hand of the Father. The right hand, meaning in a separate throne. And this right hand is Christ that says wham to Yeshua. That's why he says two came. Two sons came in one. The Son of Man and the Son of God, which is Yah. Okay? So they came together in the mission to complete it. Because if Yeshua had to go himself, he wouldn't have survived. Why? Because he already done sent every angel. All them prophets that came down, those were angels from heaven, sit down to one and one. Now, did you know the Most High knew that they was going to kill him? He knew it, but he kept sending them. He kept sending them. And even to today, he's still doing it. They the same yesterday, today, forevermore. But he got a day of judgment. Hallelujah. But right now, Sister Deborah, I'm telling you, do what you want to do. But I'm telling you all, that right hand is something. You do not mess with it. Okay? Now, it says here in Hebrew chapter 1, verse 13. But to which of the angels has he ever said, sit at my right hand? Sit there at my right hand. Where my right hand is at, sit there, okay? On that side, okay? Until I make your enemy a footstool for your feet. He was talking to Yeshua. Yeshua came down not just with word, and the Bible tells you that. Yeshua didn't come down with just word. He came down with power. That was Christ. Christ was the power. Remember when he went into Gethsemane, he said, take away this bitter cup. He was talking to Christ that rest in him. You see what I'm saying? You don't learn about that because they're not going to teach you that. Because they don't know nothing about it. They can't teach you what they don't know. Just like the Most High told me, Deborah, how do you think they can open up a door if I don't give them the key and they can open the door? They can put the key in there and open the door. They can't get that door open without me. So stop thinking that because they on these platforms and they teaching and they sounding like they got it, that okay, they can surely walk in. They can't just walk in whenever they want it or how they want it. If so, I would have gave the keys to all 12 of the disciples. I know which one is mine and who's who and what's what. But he has a plan. And everything's going to follow his plan and his will. It ain't going the way we think and the way we want it. He ain't going to let us rumble that way. We're going to go according to his will, whether we like it or not. And even Sister Deborah. Okay. Now let's go on to another verse here. Let's go to Matthew 22 and 44. No, Matthew 22 and 44. Write that down. I'm going to just let you know that Matthew is saying the same thing as Hebrew. Okay, so it's Matthew 22 and 44. And it says the same. Yahuwah said to let's say it the way it said it. The Lord said to my Lord. That's why people do not understand the difference. That's why I tell you all, you be careful when you're sitting up on the people listening. There's two Lords. There's a Lord that's the Lord. That's a lowercase, which is Lord, and there's a Lord that is capitalized. You have to understand the two. Okay, you have to be able to understand the two. This here is one is telling you in Matthew 22 and 44. The Lord said to my Lord, okay, sit at my right hand until I put your enemy beneath your feet. You see? So you have to understand the two. The reason why it's very important is that Matthew 22 and 44 is what another a part of where you can hear what comes out of the mouth of Yah. You see what I'm saying? This comes out of the mouth of Yah. That's the difference in what Sister Deborah is telling you all. When you go into the Bible, you start reading. You go to Genesis and you start reading. You're going to start reading what comes out of the mouth of Yah versus what coming out of the mouth of Adam and Eve. What's coming out of the mouth of each and every one of men versus what coming out of the mouth of Yah. And you're going to see them even counteract each other. You're going to see one giving information that you never heard come out of the mouth of Yah. But that's why he said every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. And then he turned around and said he's going to send his Holy Spirit, that it's going to teach you all things. Because he knew that you're going to need a teacher to teach you. Once you get to that point where we're at today, we need that Ruach HaKodesh. We need it. See, we don't even understand. When we came over here on the slave ship, we don't understand. In the Old Testament, they didn't have it as good as we have it. He lives in us. On that slave ship, if they were done what they were supposed to do, and their fathers was about what they were supposed to be about, guess what? We would have been carrying Yah in us on that slave ship. You see, on over here. But see, and that's why the white man taught us what they wanted to teach us, because we didn't have nothing in us. And the Most High knew it. Because of what we were doing before we lost what we had. You see, it's just like when he came and delivered us from Pharaoh, okay, and brought us through the sea. When we got on the other side, we started cutting up from the floor up. Why? Because we were still who we were. And even to today, as a prophet is in the wilderness, knowing that the only one I really deal with is the Father in the heavens through his Ruach HaKodesh. Let me tell you something. Where I can see things, hey, we are a long ways from home. And home to me is his spirit and truth. Because he said that's the only way you can worship him. You can't worship him because me and precepting and lying and bringing all these books to your bosom. The only way you're going to worship him in spirit and truth is through your spirit, recognizing that you have a spirit in you, which is a light that he gave you so that you can be able to commune with him. And he called it good, meaning that spirit knows good. But your flesh, he calls it ugly and darkness. It is evil. It's not going to even let your light in you, which he has given to you, which is a spirit, comprehend who he is. That's sad. That's why majority of the people, they can be on here and teach you a good message for 40 years, but they have no light. They light because he said, Deborah, they rather comprehend darkness than light. Okay, now let's go here to Luke. No, you know what? Let me say this here. As I was looking at Luke, Mark, and Matthew's, they're all saying the same thing. Even in Psalms 110 and verse 1. Let me give you these verses. Psalms 110, chapter 110, verse 1. Matthew's 22, verse 44. Mark 12, chapter 12, verse 36. Luke 20, verse 42. Okay? Now watch this here. Let's go to Psalms 89. Watch this here. I'm going to show you how we have to really focus on why fear is necessary for us to have. Why? Because it is a gift from Yah. It is a gift from Yah. Okay? And you see why. Watch this here. Psalms 89, chapter 89, verse 13. You have a strong arm. Your hand is mighty. Watch this. Your right hand is exalted. They're talking about Yah. What's the deal with that hand, y'all? You didn't know what it was. The hand in the right arm of Yah is all his power. That's why he was telling him to sit on that side until I make the earth your footstool, because he's going to do it with his right hand. Psalms 89 and 13. You have a strong arm, and we're going to learn about the arm too tonight. I'm not going to hold you long, but I want you to understand that when you do not study what comes out of the mouth of Yah, and you continue wanting to study what comes out of the mouth of man, and so you can precept and line a little here, you got to get out of that. That's why it's so important to have the Ruach HaKodesh, because it's going to teach you all things. But I'm going to tell you one thing, the Ruach is not going to teach you. It's not going to go tell you to go pick up every book that you can find that somebody that took away, stolen, and erased. It's not going to tell you this one is wrong and this one is wrong. Why? Because what sense do it make for Yah? Listen to this very careful, everyone. What sense does it make for the Most High Yah to send his Holy Spirit to teach you all things if you can find all things in a book for you to know, or for somebody to teach you? What sense does it make for you to send your spirit, Father, to be a teacher to us if we got all these books and all these teachers? Because he knew that when it come down to really learning who he is, it's going to be his only spirit. And not only that spirit going to teach you who he is, after it's finished teaching you who he is and who he stands for and what he stands for, it's going to teach you everything else. But it ain't going to have you precepting yourself to death, because it's a lot of things in this Bible that man has said. Man has tampered, man has said, man has turned up, man has turned down, man has switched. But one thing he can't switch is spirit and truth, because it's a spirit. Nor can it switch the Holy Spirit, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. It can't tamper with it. So what he wants you to do is get out of this book. This is what he wants you to get out of. Get in you. Every word proceeded out of his mouth. And when you start to show him that you're willing to hear what comes out of his mouth, he'll send the Ruach HaKodesh to be your teacher. And then you begin to hear what is said. And then you say, wait a minute, some of this stuff man is saying need to be dissected. It needs to be rightly divided. He says, show thyself approved, yourself. He didn't tell you go teaching nobody your precepts, your line, your little here, what you understand. He says, study yourself. Why? Because when you study, you're going to only be able to understand it if you rightly dividing the word of truth from what the word of man. You can't take what the man has said and apply it to people's life. That's why we where we at today. All those prophets, Moses, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Abraham, and Isaac, and Jacob. But what are we doing? Tell us. Wait a minute. Where are you at today? You can't even probably touch the rim of neither nor of them, because you never found out who the Most High Yah is. You're chasing precepts and lines and little here and all these books that's hidden and lost. He ain't never told you. Tell me where in here it tells you the word of truth gonna be lost to where you can't find it, or you're gonna have to find the word of truth. You're gonna have to search for the word of truth. Oh, you better go over there and get the book because that's the word of truth. Tell me when he told you that. Even when he studied, he said study. Did he say study to where you have to find books? And he said study to show yourself. Yourself is your flesh. But when you get in it and study the proper way, you'll be able to rightly divide the word of truth. Why? You'll separate what Yah said versus what man says. Then you'll dissect what man says if it does not come up on what Yah says. And that's why our people are lost without a cause. Okay, let's go to Psalms 16 and 8. Psalm 16 and 8. And what we're dealing with right now is what Deborah have said probably in 30 of her videos, the right hand. The reason why they don't know who the right hand is because they never studied with the Most High Yah as the Ruach HaKodesh in them. They think he's in them because they're able to precept and line and connect the books. But you're just connecting people with no anointing. These people can't save you. They can't deliver you. They can't teach you how to forgive. They can't teach you nothing. What's the sense of grabbing all these books that you said is missing and hidden and lose your soul? Because that's what's going to happen. You have to, why would the Most High say, give me all your heart, your mind, your soul, and your strength for you to go thinking that you got it all in books and precepting and lining, that you're going to give all your strength and your study and your everything to that. And then you're going to come on these platforms and teach to people, and you have none whatsoever of anything that represents the Most High Yah. But you say you do because you studied the book. But the book got some things in it that need to be rightly divided and separated from the word of Yah. The words that comes out of the mouth of Yah. No, Deborah is not saying what comes out of the mouth of man is incorrect and it's not true. That's the part he wants you to rightly divide. He wants you to divide it from the word of truth. And when you divide it, and if you see what they're saying, if it comes with connection with what came out of the mouth of Yah, you got something. You got something. But he ain't gonna let you swing all these precepts and all these lines and all this little here and all these books. And then the Holy Spirit standing there saying, well, what am I for? What is my purpose? If I was assigned to teach you all things, well, how can I teach you by all the books that you keep bringing up that has no holiness, no direction to being anointed, no direction to being appointed, no salvation, no deliverance, no nothing but stories? You see? That's why you cannot get caught up in a lot of this stuff that's going on. And like I said before, the number one thing he left with the 12 disciples was to be not deceived. Now, if he had felt it was the need for them to know not to be deceived, tell me, what do you think you be? You don't think you need to be informed to not be deceived? Well, that's what Sister Deborah is doing. She's doing what she was called, appointed, and anointed to do. And going back again, I'm going to give you these verses of this right hand and the stretched out arm so you'll know that that is Christ. That is the Father's power. He said this is what he did with his hand, his right hand. He found the earth and created the heavens. Come on now, y'all. We got to give the credit back to where it's due and the power that rests therein. Do you know we are to be walking around healing people and delivering people? You know why we can't get to that level? Because we don't know the power therein. We don't know the power that rests therein. We're so busy doing it the way we are told to do it and forsaking what he has put for us to do and has ordered us, anointed and appointed us. Okay, let's go to Psalm 16 and verse 8. I'm not going to hold you that much longer. Psalm 16, chapter 16, verse 8. I have set the Lord continuously before me. I have set the Lord continually before me because he is at my right hand and I will not be shaken. He is at my right hand. You know what he's saying? David is saying here. He is within his power of his right hand. And he knows it. That the Most High's power rests in his right hand. That's what he said. That is deep. I sit back and I hear David, I hear Moses, and I hear them talking. And I said, well, wait a minute, Father, they feared your right hand. They knew who your right hand. They feared you because they knew your right hand. They knew your stretched out arm. What happened, Father? Why is it all of them knew your right hand, knew who you were, knew your stretched out arm, and we walking around here talking about Shalawan, Shalawan, and Yahuwah, Yahuwah, and Yeshua HaMashiach, and don't even know who you are. Psalms 63, chapter 63, and verse 8. Psalm 63 and verse 8. My soul clings to you. Your right hand upholds me. Let's read that again. Psalm 63 and 8. My soul clings to you. Your right hand upholds me. We don't even know who's keeping us. The power of his right hand. You already know that, didn't you? That's who's keeping us. The power of that right hand. That's who's keeping us. And we run around here thinking it's about being up under somebody. And what they teaching is our salvation and our deliverance. In the message that we get, we forsaken his right hand. We forsaken his stretched out arm that carries the power. That is Christ. That is his beloved. That was the one that was present during the time of creation. That's why. You don't know. I'll give you another one. Let me give you another one. You remember in the old, as they say, Testament, when Nebuchadnezzar put the 3 Hebrew boys into the furnace fire? Nebuchadnezzar don't know nothing about the Son of God. He said, didn't we put 3? But when he looked at it, he said, but it looks as if there's another one that looks like the Son of God. Do you all know who the Son of God is? The Son of Yah is? Do you all really know? No, you don't. The Son of Yah, which they call the Son of God, is Christ. And what is Christ? Christ is the power of Yah. That's who was in the fire furnace, keeping the fire away from the 3 Hebrew boys. Even Nebuchadnezzar knew that. And we sitting around here talking about yang, yang, you. Even Nebuchadnezzar knew the Son of Yah. They call it in the Bible the Son of God, but it's the same. The Son of Yah. Because he knew that the Son of Yah is all power. It is the power of Yah. See, they had to have back then called the signs of power. They knew that it was the Son of Yah. They knew it. They knew it was the Son of Yah, because the Son of Yah is his right hand. It's his power. And all the way through this here, I have say about 75 verses talking about the right hand. But because you all have never been taught that, you don't know what the right hand is. That's the one that brought the Hebrew Israelite, when he parted that water, opened it up. That was the right hand. That was the Son of Yah. See, the Son of Man was born of a woman. He was born in the flesh. He was an angel sent down here, mission to be the sacrifice, okay, for man. So he had to come down as man. But see, the Most High knew that I sent too many prophets down there, and they got rid of them. But I'll tell you what, I'm finna send my son. You know why he said that? Let me tell you why. What you mean you finna send your son? They gonna die like everybody else. That's what I would say to the Most High. I'm gonna show you how he said I'm crazy. He already know I'm crazy. I said, wait a minute. When you send your son, he died like everybody else. He said, no, he didn't. He said, no, I said, yeah, you got me. You got me. Why he didn't die? He's the Son of God, which is the Son of Yah. He's the right hand power. He can't die. He took Yeshua all the way to Calvary. Yeshua said, tell you what, wait a minute. Please help me. Help me here. I got to get on that cross. I got to die. I need a little, in Gethsemane. He said, I need a little help. He said, help me on through this here. He said, come on, help me. Just take away the bitter cup. Hallelujah, hallelujah. He said, just take away the bitter cup. Not my will, but yours. Yeah, Yeshua was saying, Father, your power, help me. I know I got to go. I know I got to complete this mission. Oh, the burden is heavy, but I got to come down and do what I was called to do. But see, because what had happened now, Yeshua had to die like a man without that power. Hallelujah. That's why he was saying that, because he knew right then, wait a minute, now I ain't got that power that I had with me. I don't have that Christ with me. He with me, but I'm starting to feel this pain like a man. He said, please, but take it away from me. Take away that bitterness. Let me go and do what I come to do. He get up on the cross. He said, why have thou forsaken me? That's funny to me, because if you knew truth, you would laugh too. He said, why have thou forsaken me? You know what he's talking about? He's talking about that power. He's talking to Christ. He's telling him, wait a minute now. This is a little bit too heavy now. I done it. But don't go nowhere. Stay with me now. Stay with me. But he had to die on that cross like a man in the flesh. That's why Christ had to leave him. He had to leave him, y'all. He had to leave him for that split moment, that split second, so he can die like a man, so that we can be redeemed back to the Most High Yah. But that's funny to me, because a lot of people don't understand it. They don't know spirit and truth. They don't know the things which Yah has designed for us in the spirit realm. They still living on flesh. They still living in darkness. They haven't even recognized the light he put in each and every last one of us, whether we heathens, Gentiles, or what, boy, girl, male, female, mother, father, no matter what. We all got a light that belongs to the Most High Yah. When he says to death, I want you to bring so-and-so, whoever, death don't come around and say, well, wait a minute, he's in a building and he's by himself. It don't matter. Death don't talk like that to the Most High Yah. Swam, bam, that's it. That's his life. That's his light that he put in us. He calls it home. In his appointed time and hour that he has assigned. That's why I said, don't go telling people, oh, this person died because they was doing evil and wicked. Every man born to die, so all of us were evil and wicked. Yes, we're full of sin and darkness, but don't ever justify death for something someone else is doing. Okay? It don't roll like that, because everybody day in is numbered and day out is numbered before they even come in. That's how awesome he is. Now, where are we going to go here? Let's go to Psalms 77, verse 10. Psalms 77, verse 10. Psalm 77, verse 10. Then I said, verse 10, then I said, it is my grief that the right hand of the Most High has changed. See, the right hand. What that leads me to understand that David is who I am. I am who David is. Because if David can know what the right hand is, and I know who the right hand is, then who do you know? You see what I'm saying? See, David is sitting here already in verse Psalm 77 and verse 10. He said, then I said, it is my grief. Okay? That the right hand of the Most High has changed. Why is he saying that? It's because he knows the movement of the right hand of the Father. And we still don't. Even Nebuchadnezzar knew that when he put them 3 Hebrew boys in there, only one could have been in there was the Son of God, which is the Son of Yah. Because Nebuchadnezzar knew that the power of Yah is those that can do anything and stop everything. He knew it. It goes beyond man's understanding or anything, mentality or anything. Nebuchadnezzar said, wait a minute, did we put 3? But wait a minute. I'm seeing, you didn't see the Son of Man. You seen something in there, and you also seen it. You knew that it had the power because they weren't doing or dying and burning up like you thought. So you knew there was something in there. And by me knowing he knew who the Son of Yah is, or which the world calls the Son of God, that lets me know that even he knew. What's wrong with today? Why nobody know nothing about his right hand? Why nobody know nothing about his stretched out arm? What's going on? Because we don't know really who the power that rests therein. We even running around here saying, yeah, I got the Ruach HaKodesh. Wait a minute. Hold up. Who is Yeshua HaMashiach? Who is Jesus Christ? Do you know who the power of Christ is? It's the Father's beloved. It's who he is. He called him his beloved because it's his only right hand. And it's only stretched out arm that carries all his power. That was present during the beginning of creation and what created all things. It was his power. It's beautiful, y'all. To really understand it, you all, I'm going to tell you something. It's a beautiful thing. It is so awesome to really understand spirit and truth. I mean, in the purest form of truth, it is beautiful. Okay, let me go to a couple of more here. And then we're going to get to something regarding the arm, because I want you to understand the arm is likened to that. Let's go to Psalms. Let's go to Psalms 139. 139, chapter 139, verse 10. And the reason why a lot of these are in Psalms is that was David. That was David. So if you ever wonder why it speaks of David so much and who David was, because David knew who that was. See, it's do you all understand, to really get what Deborah is saying takes you to a deeper level in Yah. It calls you to see him for who he is. Let me send another example. When Jacob was wrestling, what it said to angel, and he said he wasn't going to let him go. He wasn't going to let him go until he do what? He bring a miracle. That's what Jacob was saying. I ain't letting you go till you bless me. You're going to have to do something. My brother's on my back. He's on his way here. He's heading in, getting close to me and my family. Come over here. I'm going to wrestle with you. And all night, he turmoil with the Most High Yah. He was wrestling with the Father's power. That's what he was wrestling with, because he wanted something from that power. He wanted the Most High to bless him. So that's how he got his blessing. And when his brother saw him, he saw him in a different way. That was the blessing that he was wanting and he was needed. because he thought his brother was going to kill him. So a lot of people don't know nothing about that. And because he received that blessing, he even changed his name because he knew that now he knew who I am. He knew that right hand. He knew that power. And then he began to say, let me help you out a little bit. Jacob said, now he said that he have seen him face to face. You know, he ain't seen him face to face. You know, do you all understand what face to face is? I have seen the Most High in my life face to face throughout my life. Even as a little girl, I've seen him face to face so many times. I can tell you what face to face is. Face to face is when you seen that power. When you seen that mighty power. I remember coming down a mountain, going strictly over the mountain, all the way down, and that car land on the solid rock. I seen his face. Because his face is his power. That's what Jacob was saying. Jacob ain't seen his face like you see mine, and I will see this book here. He ain't talking about like that, y'all. Talking about spirit and truth. The truth of seeing it in spirit. He saw him because his power. I seen the power. Why? Because it's blessed me when I needed him the most. That's his power. I seen him face to face. That's what seeing the Most High Yah face to face is. That's why he tells you, no man have seen me. You couldn't and live. But you can see my power, which is my Christ. You can see my Christ because that's the power of my right hand. And this is what these verses are. I'm telling you. He's telling you who he is. He can show up and show out anytime he wants to and how he wants to. Now, let's go here. What was that verse we were going to? Let me get it back here. We're almost done here. That was Psalms 139, verse 10. And it reads, even there, your hand will lead me. Wait a minute now, David. Watch what he say. Even your right hand will lay hold of me. See, you all have to understand, women. You got children out there. Adult children, young children, babies, and men. I want y'all to understand. This right hand will move mountains for you. But if you never knew and never understood where the power was really coming from, Yeshua, let's set an example. When Yeshua went to do his miracles and signs, if he didn't have Christ with him, he wouldn't have been able to do the power. That's what Christ came to do. Show up and show out. Because it is the power that rests therein. You see? But if you don't know who the power is, then how can you fear? You can't fear nobody that you don't know that is worthy to be feared if you don't know the extent of their power. But when he's sitting here telling me as a prophet, I just learned just talking to you one of these verses because he had me to print them all over again. Yeah, they in my closet, but he had me to print them over again. But when he's sitting telling me that my hand created the earth, found the earth and created the heavens, and when I call them, they stand together. That's powerful to me. That thing is powerful. Just imagine that. The earth and the heavens standing together. They standing together like saluting. Just like I told you, when a commanding officer come in the military men, it could be 100 of them. But when that commanding officer come, all of them salute and stand. Well, that's what he's saying. They honor me. They worship me together. Because I called them to come together. And they come. And they salute me. That's what the Father's saying. Why is it, Deborah? They see not my power from my right hand. They don't know nothing about my stretched out arm. And it's been present since the book of Genesis. When you read Genesis 1:1, there he was. Who was that, Deborah? That right hand power. That beloved. That lamb that was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. That was the power. Because it's no way Yeshua could have did it. It's no way. He sent too many angels down just like unto Yeshua. But he made Yeshua a little greater because his sacrifice was greater. Okay, it had a meaning and a power punch. But what made his even greater? He had Christ coming with him. He had the Word with him, and he had the Father's right hand, which is Christ, with him. That made him a little higher than the other angels. That's why. But I love the Most High because he suffered, he is sure to come to sacrifice and die just to show us in the flesh that the same way he came, we can walk likewise. And when we run around here lying and thinking that, oh, he was so this and we can't be like Christ, and that's a lie from the pit of hell. We are all angels that has been separated according to who represents Yah and who represents the enemy. He already know who you are because everything that took place. Let me tell you what I did. I asked the Most High, I said, well, when you created the earth, why did you kick Satan down to the earth? If you didn't want him there, why would you kick him down there where we at? He said, because where you started and he started was in the heavens. So it ain't like he's getting kicked down to you. Y'all still coming from the boat. You was up there with him. And now you're on the earth. But what I'm doing, I'm cleaning out the place. Because I'm going to bring a new heavens. I'm redoing this heaven. I'm going to bring it right back down to that same earth. Not the same as we know it, but it's going to come back down. So I did. I was young and silly. I was the type of person that always questioned Most High Yah about everything. But see here, David is saying in Psalm 77 and verse 10, he said, then I said, it is my grief that the right hand of the Most High, no, what was that it? That wasn't it, was it? No. The Most High changed. That was not it. No, I'm sorry. That was Psalm 139. See, I got so many here. So forgive me, but the Most High knows that he had me to bring all these verses. And I feel good about it because I'm going to make another copy and put it away for my children so they have something to go over. Psalms 139 and verse 10. Even there, your hand will lead me. See, a lot of us think we leading ourselves. But David is telling him, I know you leaving me. Your hand is even leaving me. I know it because I can't even lead myself. Only place I can lead myself is in darkness. That's it. You can't lead yourself nowhere. That's why he put a light in you, that you may recognize that light. That light is a spirit in you that represents him. You see? That's the one that says, that knows good. He said, man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. That good is the spirit being able to recognize good, and the evil is the flesh. That's the darkness. But then he still said something. Hold up. He said, but then you have to, unless he reach for the tree of life and eat of it. We got to want more than what we settling for on these platforms. Because the sad part about it ain't no sad part about it. I shouldn't say that it's sad, because I think it should have been, but see, the Most High's heart is different than mine. But yet, I understand his. Mine's is crap. Mine's is dirt. Mine's dark. But I understand his love and his mercy and his grace. Because when I say, Father, you need to just take all these sites off of here. I mean, if it's not going to change the souls, it is not going to direct them, and a person is constantly teaching them the pure adulterated word, and you're sitting here having them, he said, it still got to play his will out. It ain't go your way, Deborah. It don't rumble you your way. You just stick with it and do what you're supposed to do. And if nobody look, so what? I've seen. It's so much stuff he says that it brings so much. With his chastising, you can feel the love that he has for you. He has this way of chastising you and loving you at the same time, to where you can't really take it like a real bad chastising. Even that accident that I had head on, this girl ran into me head on. I was in the hospital. Look, I didn't even take that. I took it with love because I came out of it in my right mind. I wasn't hurt. Yeah, I had a few scratches and bumps, but it should have been worse. That's what everybody was saying, that type of accident. I liked how he let me sit down on that ground that night. It was like 9:30 that night. And it was so many people around when we had the accident. But it was like 3 minutes later, I'm sitting on the ground by myself. Nobody was around. You seen people, it was like a movie. You watching everybody. And I'm like saying, Father, nobody sees that I'm here and I'm in my chest is hurting. That was, they said it had to do with my seatbelt. Nobody, you know what? He said, you sit there. You need to sit alone. He said, now you sit there. Because I want you to understand and always understand. You see how you sitting? When nobody's here, I'm here right with you. I'm sitting here talking to you. I'm sitting here comforting you. I'm sitting here with you. And don't you stare standing there and try to cry. What for? What for? I'm with you. You see ain't nobody here. They ain't got no business being here. They can't deliver you. And that's why, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna write a book. When I write my book, I'm gonna definitely describe that accident, because I ain't never in my life, when I used anything happened to me, even when I had my babies, I don't care if I go to the hospital, they treat me like a newborn baby. All my life, even as an adult, they always treated me good. They treat me like I'm delicate. And I'm sitting here on the ground and ain't nobody coming to help me. Them women took me out that thing and I looked at them. And I said to myself, Father, thank you. And I was saying, God, oh, I just thank you, thank you, thank you. And they laid me right there on the side of the curb. And I heard them say, well, we're going to stay here until the police come. And I mean, it couldn't have been no more than 5 minutes. Maybe it was longer. I look up, my chest was hurting, my legs was hurting. I look up, it wasn't a soul around. And I laid there. But I heard the Most High say, do you see it? Who's around? Who cares that you had an accident? Who cares that you on that? I mean, just the things that he was saying to me. It comforted me. At the same time, I felt like I was being chastised. But the comfort that he gave me was greater than the chastising that was set before me. But I received the both. And I praise him right now in the midst of it all. Let's get to another verse here. And this is David, because David knew who the Most High is, just as Deborah knows. Psalms 48. And it reads, Psalms 48 and verse 10. Psalms 48 and verse 10. As is your name. See that word, your? O Yah. As is your name, O Yah. So is your praise to be to the end of the earth. Your right hand, you see that, is full of righteous. So the right hand is also righteous. It is righteous. So that's why I say, if it's sad that people don't know who this right hand is, and because they don't know who it is, they're just serving what man says they are to serve. They're calling it what man calls it. But they deep down, spiritual and truth, they don't even know. It is so important. Okay, let's go to Psalms 73 and 23. Psalm 73 and verse 23. Nevertheless, I am continually with you. You have taken hold of my right hand. That's comfort to me. That's comfort to me. Taking hold of his right hand, because you know what that right hand represents. So I send it to you. If you don't know what that right hand represents, you're in a heap of trouble. I don't care who Hebrew Israelites and the 12 tribes and the tribe of Judah. You're going to find out what you didn't know. But you're going to find out come judgment if you don't get with this right now and understand what is actually taking place in his word. Study this Bible over again. Start in Genesis. Everything that he says out of his mouth, separate it from what man is saying. And then you dissect what man is saying and rightly divide it. Okay? And once you rightly divide what man is saying, you take that and you divide it and say, okay, is man saying what Yah have said? You don't just do away with Yah's word that comes out of his mouth and take on a life form and shape in a fashion that man has spoke in this book. You can't do that. But if you do it, it's your choice. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you a really good one. Let's go here to Psalm 17 and verse 7. Psalm 17 and verse 7. Psalm 17 and 7. You know what? This Psalms, wait a minute, let me see. That's 18, Psalm 17, Psalm show. Okay, so that's not Psalms. But let me say this here. This is Psalm 17 and 7. That's not it. So let me get that here right quick. It's not Psalms. Which one is it? I think the Most High for giving me the chance to get this right. Let me try Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 63. Let's see if that's it. Isaiah 63. Isaiah 63 and verse 12. And this is to sum it up a little bit here. This right hand. And it's 63. Psalm 63 and 12. Psalm 63 and verse 12. Let's see if that's the right. I have it on the other sheet here. And you know what? Psalm 63 and 12. It's not it. But I'm going to go on it anyway. Because see, I made so many sheets. I didn't take this verse. I didn't. But I'm going to give it to you. And maybe later on, if someone is interested, I leave it in the box at the bottom of the video. Okay, and it reads, I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a book. Revelation. That's where this is at. That's where this is at. This is Revelation. Let's go there. It says, I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a book written inside and on the back, sealed up with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to break the seals? And no one in heaven or on the earth or under the earth was able to open the book or to look into it. Okay, and it says here more to read. But this here, what was in this book? What was in the book? Listen to this. It says, I saw in the right hand. Now, who is that right hand? That's Yah. That's his beloved son. That's Christ, his right hand. So, Yeshua came, or was that Yeshua? I ain't even got the verse, but it's Revelation. I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a book. With me, I already know what the right hand is. I think that verse came out of Revelation. The right hand is Yah. That's his right hand. It's Christ. It's his power. It's his beloved son. It's the son of Yah. Okay? He was present at the beginning because he created all things through that same power. Hallelujah. Now, I'm going to leave some verses and just give you some verses here because, no, I'm going to read this one here. No, I'm going to give you 3 verses, okay? And I want you to just do the study on this as well. We're going to go Jeremiah 27 and 5. Jeremiah 27 and 5. And it says, I have made the earth, the men and the beasts, which are on the face of the earth, by my great power and by my stretched out arm, and I will give it to the one who is pleasing to my sight. See, he ain't giving it to you because you say you a Hebrew Israelite. Y'all better wake up and know who he is and find out who he is and start reading what comes out of the mouth of Yah and not out of the mouth of man in this book and any other book you read. You need to kick any other book to the curb. All them books, kick them to the curb. People be thinking you can get, what is that the other King James. I don't care what King James you got. It has been written up and down, but you have to learn how to be up under the Ruach HaKodesh when you're reading it anyway. Okay? So in Jeremiah 27:5, it says, I have made the earth. We know who did that. The men and the beasts. Now this is what comes out of the mouth of Yah, which are on the face of the earth by my great power. Watch this here. You know who that great power is? That's that stress. That's that right hand. That's the right hand. Watch what come with that right hand. That's why I said you got to understand what that arm is too. Now he said that power. He said my great power. And when you look at that in the biblical, you'll see my great power. You see my capitalized. That's that power. Okay. And by my stretched out what? Arm, I will deliver you from their bondage. No. Let me see. No. He said no. And I will give it to you, to the one who is pleasing in my sight. My stretched out arm, and I will give it to the one who is pleasing in my sight. Not in your sight. These people telling you how to dress, how to walk, how to talk, how to look, put on the fringes, put on things on your head and everything. When you finish, this thing is spirit and truth. So when they finish role playing, I did a video telling y'all need to stop all this role playing. It ain't gonna work. You got to come out of that, because when your flesh is all rolling, your spirit is in darkness. Your spirit is strictly in darkness. So when you stand before him, he say, okay, you played the role, but I never knew you. I never knew you. You was down there role playing. I don't know you. Yeah, you played a good role. So get out of them role playing clothes and start doing things in spirit and truth. Learn of what comes out of the mouth of Yah. Okay, and now verse Deuteronomy 9, verse 29. Deuteronomy verse 9, not verse 9, chapter 9, verse 29. Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse 29. Yet they are your people, even your inheritance, from whom you have brought out by your power. Watch this here. Do you know who that power is? What did I just tell you about the power? That power is his right hand. It is his beloved son. It is Christ. It is the son of Yah. Okay? It was present at the beginning. That's that power. Now, Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse 29. Watch what it says. When I read you Jeremiah 27, chapter 27, verse 5, it talks about the arm. It wanted you in that verse to pay attention to the arm. He already told you the power. He called it the great power. So he assuming that whoever reading this, they already know through the Ruach HaKodesh that great power is his right hand. But that right hand is connected to a stretched out arm that he normally reach way down. That's when he had to reach way down. He wants you to know that. He wants you to know from the level of where he's at, I send my power, and yes, I might have to reach it. My right arm got to go down. He said it in, look up in Jeremiah 27:5. That's what he said. My stretched arm, my stretched out arm, letting you know it ain't nothing too hard for him to reach. Ain't nothing too hard for him to reach. He telling you about his arm, but that power is his right hand. Now watch this here. Now when you get to Deuteronomy, what was that we was at? That was Deuteronomy 9:29. Now listen to this. Yea, they are your people, even your inheritance, whom you have brought out by your great power, which is your right hand, and your stretched out arm. Y'all got to know who this arm is. That stretched out arm and that right hand, you find out who that is, you got it. People battle with who else was that when he said, let us, it'll close you in and close you out. At the beginning, he created you, it'll close you in and close you out. John 1:1, all the way down, it'll close you in and close you out. Once you understand that power. But see, they don't know. They don't understand what Nebuchadnezzar was saying when he said, then we put 3, wait a minute, hold up, I'm seeing something. He saw that power. Okay, and even he knew. I see the son of who? Yeah. He knew who that power was. But what happened to us today? That we don't know nothing. But what man tells us in their understanding. This thing is spirit and truth, you guys. Now in Deuteronomy 28, 29, 9 and 20, chapter 9 and 29. Now I got to give you another one. Okay, let's give you Isaiah 53. Isaiah 53 and verse 1. Isaiah 53 and verse 1. What I'm giving you now, the first section was his right hand. The section is his stretched out arm. The stretched out arm represents how far and how deep a situation is. I'm going to let you know I can reach. That's all he's telling you. And if you don't learn that he's telling you my power can reach anywhere, check me out. Y'all ain't going to hear that. No, they ain't going to precept that either. Because it's coming out of the mouth of Yah. They ain't going to precept it. Because it can't be precept to manipulate you and deceive you. Because it's something to come to pierce you straight in to get to know who he is. And it kicks them to the curb. And you can't learn who they are. Or you can't get them praises. You can't get them likes. You can't get them subscribers. You see? So it keeps them where they at and put him where he is. He is the I am. You remember when Yeshua, when they came to take him away? They came to take Yeshua. You remember in Gethsemane when he was coming to take him away for his hour was near? When he said that he was I am, that he said it twice, but you got to be able to discern it through the spirit of the Ruach HaKodesh teaching you. That first one represents the power who Yah is and was in the midst of what was going on. They came to him and they come to take him away. They was talking about Jesus of Nazareth. They come to take you away. We looking for him. He said, I am. See, I know who the I am is. That's Yah himself. But he carries all power. And when he said, I am, that was the power that knocks state butts down. See, y'all need to recognize him and stop running around here trying to find out everything that don't mean nothing. You don't need to be going buying books. You don't need to be hearing all this stuff. People tell you everything that's going on in the world while you living it. I don't need you to tell me that. Tell me about him. I want to see the one. I want to hear about the one, his greatness, his goodness, his power, his love, and his mercy. Because after a while, that same power going to reign in you. Oh, yes. But see, that's why a lot of people say, well, why is it we can't do the miracles and signs? Like, oh, yes. That's because you haven't accepted the power. You run around here saying, yes, I believe in Yeshua HaMashiach. You don't believe in nothing until you understand who the power is and where it rests. See, that's why you can't lay hands on people in here. You can't deliver. It's because you don't even know who the power really is and where it rests. See, and I hear people teaching that we should supposed to be laying hands and delivering people and waking up the dead. Yes, you do. But you can't do it if you don't know who the power is. You got to go back to the biblical, learn who the power is, the right hand of who he is, and the stretched out arm, and then you will know you can go anywhere in the world, stick that hand out. Why? Because greater is he that's in you than taught you his power. And now you know all it takes is your right hand and your stretched out arm. See, people don't know that. David did it. See, because we want man teaching. We didn't kick the Ruach HaKodesh to the curb. We don't want what we can't see. We want what we can see. Because they precepting it. They lying. They got all these books. And none of it is bringing you to salvation. None of them books is not bringing you to the love of the Most High Yah. It's bringing you to the love of those who's in the books to tell the story. Come on, y'all. Okay. And now let's go to Isaiah 53 and verse 1. Isaiah 53 and verse 1. And it reads, who has believed our message? Hallelujah, Father Yah. Who has believed our message? Hallelujah. And to whom has the arm of Yah been revealed? Hallelujah. Tell me you don't get it. You don't get it still, do you? Let's go over that one again. Let's go over that again. Isaiah 53:1. Who has believed our messages? And to whom has the arm of Yah been revealed? Don't tell me I don't know who I'm serving. And I'm saying it like that is because I think it is a blessing that the Most High will suffer me as a prophetess in the wilderness to get on this devil platform and tell you all that his right hand and his stretched out arm is what we need to turn to. We need to understand what that is so that when this time that we are in and it comes before us, we can take it with a grain of salt, like it's nothing. Why? Because now we understand spirit and truth. This is a big part. His right hand, his stretched out arm is a part of spirit and truth. That's what those men survived on. That's why their faith was upheld, because they seen that power. They seen the power of the Most High God, and it instilled the faith in them to believe that he is and that he will be what he said he would be to them, and he will be all that and some to them, and they trust in that. That's beautiful. Even Abraham. There's times where he had to knock Abraham out to put it in his spirit. It was deep. It's deep. He had to knock him out just to get something put in him. So when he wake up, it'll be already instilled. That's the power. Like they be talking on Melchizedek. They be talking, they don't even know what they're talking about. Because they don't even know who the right hand and stretched out arm is. If they do, they'll know that that's Melchizedek. They want to call him everything. They want to call him Yeshua. He can't be Yeshua. Yeshua was an angel. They came down here with Christ to complete a mission. So therefore, the reason why the mission was successful is because they came as one with all word and all power. Hallelujah. So Sister Deborah got one more, and I'm going to leave you. Let's go. Let's do one more. I just want to. Now listen to this. Psalms 98:1. I got to stop because I'm telling you, I got hundreds of information showing you his stretched out. The stretched out is very important. The stretched out arm is very important for you to look in the scriptures and pull them out, because it's showing you how far he will go to pull you out. He's telling you that arm is not too short that it can't stretch out and deliver you. No matter what situation you're in, he can deliver you out of it. His right hand is the power and his arm stretched out. That means it'll go as far as the other side of the world, of the earth. Whether it's heaven or beneath the earth, that stretched out arm can reach any destiny. So when you read in this stretched out arm, you got to see that that's that power, y'all. David tell you how that right hand even chastised him. I know it will. I know it will. Okay, now that was Psalms 98, verse 1. And I'm going to leave you here. We're going to stop at this last verse. Psalms 98 and verse 1. Oh, sing to Yahuwah a new song, for he has done wonderful things. His right hand, check him out. Y'all better get with this program, because y'all have been deceived from the floor up. Y'all been deceived. His right hand and his holy arm, hallelujah, have guided the victory for me. You can't beat that. David just described the stretched out. David just described the right hand and the arm of Yah, and how the victory has held him out. And how dare us talk? We shouldn't even never talk about David until we understand. Until we understand who the right hand and the stretched out arm is. Because we have forsaken all the stories. We have went head on to all the books and all the story. I remember he told me, he said, one time he came, I was in the kitchen. I got home from work and I was in that word, just eating it up, writing and making tape. He asked me, what are you doing? Did I tell you to do that? I said, but Father, if anybody come to me and they ask me I want to be able to tell him, here it is, and here it is. He said, I didn't ask you to do that. Because if I'm going to be greater in you, it ain't going to be about where it's at. It's what it's saying. He had to break me down in that. He said, it's not about where it's at. It's what it's saying. So if people are caught up in Psalms 4 and Psalms 8 or Matthew's this and Luke, Revelation this, that's fine and dandy. That's for those who need to look for it, who don't have the Ruach HaKodesh. He said, but it's not so much as the verses and the chapter and the verses and all these lost books and these precepts. It's what it's saying, Deborah. So what he's telling me is what comes out of the mouth of Yah is more important than trying to memorize scriptures and verses. And I had to repent because it made so much sense. The way he was breaking it down to me, it made so much sense. I said, okay. And listen, look how it helped me, y'all. It helped me. I'm a mother with 6 children. I was breastfeeding. I think I had a baby and breastfeeding, coming home and right. He was just setting me free because we can get so captive. We can get in so much captivity and we don't even understand it. We are, believe it or not, we didn't came over here. We said we in the land of captivity, but we have placed ourselves in captivity through all these other issues on these devil platforms who's telling us you have to this. And when you finish, what did y'all say? Are you going to believe the report of man? Are you going to believe what comes out of the mouth of Yah? Every time you pick up this book, it's not saying everything in here comes out of the mouth of Yah. You know how many times they done reversed this, turned it up and turned it down? But yet, what comes out of his mouth is still anointed and appointed. That's why he said, study to show thyself approved. Don't go studying to show somebody else. Because just because you studying and you showing yourself don't mean you right. You got to rightly divide it, he said. You got to divide truth and spirit in what you're reading. You got to separate what comes out of God's mouth from what comes out of man's mouth. You have to be able to do that. And the one way of doing it is with the Ruach HaKodesh. That's why his mission is there. His mission is to come to live in you and teach you from the inside out, not the outside in. So that means everything that everybody's saying on the outside can't touch this. Hallelujah. Everything that everybody's saying on the outside can't touch this. Can't touch this. Why? Because greater is he that lives in the inside than he that's in the world. It's not just saying the world as the people. It says those that are on the outside. You know, that's the greater. So if he ain't great, like he said, and the greatest, we're looking for subscribers and likes and YouTube teaching and lessons, and have kicked him totally to the curb and wondering why all these things happening to us. And our men don't understand when y'all wrong the Most High God, the women get the consequences and the children pay the penalty. And that's a sad thing because us women, we're smarter than that. But yet, when it come down to Yah, we buckle up and be as dumb as a dried up mop and not even understand. When you stand before the Most High, you think he gonna be on the side, your children gonna be on the side, he gonna be on the side. You're gonna be standing alone. You don't remember when I told you I had that accident? Who was on that ground? On the streets, on the ground by myself. I was. But I wasn't alone. He was with me. And that's who was ministering to me. When we get to that point in life, when we realize that, we can move mountains. So Sister Deborah, I didn't mean to take you that long, but I wished I could have gave you more verses, but I got about 150 verses here talking about the right hand and the stretched out arm. I want to send something to you and say this. It is time to love on the Most High Yah. Anybody that's not teaching you how to have a relationship with him and to draw nigh into him. What happened to the lamp? Those that had the lights, the lamps. They had the lamp. They had no oil. That means something wasn't in them. What do the oil represent? It gives you light. The light is there, but they don't have no oil to get the light on. That's where you at today. You need your light on in your family, around your friends, in your community, among your neighbors, in your state. because you all do not understand what is going on. The same thing Yeshua endured. You know what? He went on the cross. He did that. But let me put that like that. What he was enduring was bigger than what you have ever been taught. The greater thing that he endured was not to be beaten and to be crucified. Notice he didn't stay long dead. He didn't stay long on that cross in that natural pain because the spirit gave up. Because this mission wasn't y'all didn't want him to stand up there and have pain. That's why he gave up the ghost instant. And if you read it, you will see how quickly that happened, because that hour was important and we missed it. We don't even understand that hour. We don't even understand why he kept saying this hour, this hour, this hour. What's the deal with the hour? Look like the hour that went around 50 million times and you're still here. What is this hour? The hour represents that his final is going to be quick. You see? Everything's supposed to work in that 1 hour. And the hour to us is not the hour to the Yah. But it was a time period, right? Because he couldn't stand on that cross and feel that pain. He couldn't do that. That wasn't the love of the Most High for him, and nor for us. But we choose to, because we could care less what the love of the Most High is. So his hour was near, and the power when he gave up the ghost, he did it real quick. It wasn't he didn't stay on that cross. No, he didn't stay on that cross. I mean, he gave up the ghost. The ghost, the breath of Yah's breath came out quick, because of the hour. He didn't supposed to go and stay there the length of time that we think it was. No, that wasn't his mission. His mission was to do what? Know truth. Carry it. See, that's what I said, and I tell people, you think you know something, you don't. Because you're sure, they kept saying, well, wait a minute. He said not a word. What did he not say? He said a lot of things. What you mean he said not a word, Father? He said, I said, wait a minute. What you mean he said not a word? He said, Deborah, he said not a word because his mission requires him to just walk therein and not say anything about what I'm saying to you. You see, that wasn't his mission. He said not a word about him coming down here, who he was, who was the right hand, who was this and who was that, just all that. He said not a word about the main mission of the Most High Yah. He said not a word. He suffered through it all. He could have stopped. You hit me? Bam, I hit you back. No. He could have stopped and said, no, don't do this and don't do that. That wasn't his mission, to say a word. So what he didn't say a word to is this. This is the key and the power therein, you all. He said not a word. Meaning, he was in the world 100% darkness, evil, wicked, unrighteousness, and untruth. He walked in it. And at any time, he could have spoke truth. He could have spoken, stopped it. But he said not a word. Because his mission didn't come here to stop them from doing what they're doing. His mission was to die for what they was doing. So he said not a word. That's why the young men don't understand when they say, he said he came not to change. No, hold up, y'all. My mission is not to change. None of this. My mission is just to get on that cross and shed that blood. And that's it. That's my mission. People didn't get it. Still don't get it. See, and a lot of people don't understand that. He said not a word because his mission didn't require him to say anything outside of what Yah has already predestined him to say. So he said not a word about the things that are the mystery. And it has been a mystery. But it is no longer a mystery to those who have him, Yahshua, a HaMashiach, living in them. with the Ruach HaKodesh. Now they're in us. Now we know the mystery of why. I know the mystery of why he didn't say a word. Because he was 100% righteous, living amongst 100% unrighteous, and said not a word to those that was unrighteous. He just kept the mission so that we can see how he do it, and we can be like unto the way he walked. We ain't gonna match him perfectly, but we can be perfect in understanding through the Ruach HaKodesh. See, we ain't gonna be perfect in not sinning and not doing wrong and not doing things, but we can be perfect in him, in the walk in which Yeshua he performed. He didn't perform, he did an excellent job, because he said not a word when he could have. You was 100. Now, what about you? If you were to come here and you was 100% righteous, and you're coming down to an earth where everybody's 100% unrighteous, but you said not a word about it. You said not a word. At any time, you could have said something to stop it all, but you said not a word. Why? Because your mission didn't require you to. Your mission was that you die for the sins of what they said and they done, not to stop them. That's why a lot of men don't understand when he said, "I come not to change the law and whatever." That because even if I came to change, y'all been to kill me, try to kill me if it's the will of the Father. But I'm not coming to bother that. I'm just coming to walk amongst all unrighteous, and I'm 100% righteous, and I'm not gonna say a word. I'm gonna walk my mission and get up out of here so that you all can be redeemed back to the Most High God. So Sister Deborah should say, thank you so much. I know I took out 2 hours and 6 minutes. I can't do that. But I hope that you all enjoy the message. And I hope and pray that we learn more and more about the Most High Yah and less about man. Because we need to know where we stand with him and not man. And once we get to that point where we understand in him and what comes out of his mouth, we're going to find out that it's joy to relax in him. I don't care how heavy the storm is or what go on in the world, you're going to be able to rest in his bosom. Because you're walking in spirit and truth. That's why he said all this stuff that they doing, they can't worship me in that. They got to come to the level of spirit and truth. And not this level of where they have created their own denomination and their own religion and got the world deceived by. And they don't understand what the Revelation said come out of them. They don't understand that. That's the reason. Because you are identical to them. You just come out. Sister Deborah say, I hope you enjoyed the message. And I'll be back again. And I'm going to come back with the lesson regarding I cried today because I was young men. What I saw, I didn't even think I would live to see. Because I've seen it through the Ruach HaKodesh. When I seen that, I just assume, okay, Father, you let me see it. I'll be up out of here by the end. That's the way I think, you all. That's the way I think. Because I've been in the cage, and the cage has been in him, protected for so long. You come out and you be like trying to figure out, well, what are they? But let me let you go. But I appreciate you coming to hear me. And Sister Deborah says shalom, and I love you. Shalom.